Alright, hey guys, it's Emerbo's TCG back with a new video. So here is my Sprite, test hands, and combo video. So if you guys want to see the deck profile for this video, it'll be on the top right corner. But yeah, let's just get started here. So this is going to be your one card combo. This is the one you need to know. It's just if you have a Swap Frog, this is what you're able to do with that Swap Frog. So let's just get started here. So you're going to normal summon the Swap Frog to dump the Ronin Totem. Then we're going to link one into Almirage, and then by banishing Swap Frog here with Ronin Totem, we're able to bring it out. And then we can link those two away to get Sprite Elf. Now we can use Sprite Elf's effect to bring out the Ronin Totem once again. Then we can exceed these two to go into Gigantic Sprite. And then we can use Sprite's effect here to detach one in order to bring out a level 2 monster for your deck. You're going to choose the Swap Frog here. But the great thing about this too is that you can use, instead of going into the Swap Frog, you can opt to go into your Sprite Blue in case you want to just go straight into your Sprite engine. So that's totally up to you. But here I opted to go to Swap Frog. Use Swap Frog's effect here, just ditch another Swap Frog just so I can get the Ronin Totem out. Then I can exceed these two, get totally awesome. And now during the standby phase, I get myself a Dupe Frog here. So here we're just gonna go over quickly what we have on the board, and this is of course with just one hand. So we're totally awesome. We have an Omni Negate by sending one Aqua monster from your hand or face up field to the grave. It negates it, and you get to set it on your side of the field. And when Totally Awesome is removed, you can target one water monster in your grave and add it back to your hand. So it's just a way to recover your resources as well. And then Dupe Frog here prevents your opponent from targeting any other monster for an attack, so they have to go straight into the Dupe Frog. And the Gigantic Sprite is going to be here for when your next turn. It's the 3200 attack. You're going to be able to use this guy's effect to go and continue your plays. But yeah, that's pretty much the one card combo you need to know. And let's go straight to the next hand. Alright guys, so here's the second one card combo. So this combo is just going to be another one that I think is integral for you to know. So this is the main reason, like if you have Deep Sea Divas, we're going to kind of be aiming for. Just because, your hand could be filled with a bunch of hand traps and you could just have Deep Sea Diva. And you might think like, oh, what do you do with this? And this is what you're going to do with it. You're going to normal summon Deep Sea Diva, special summon another Deep Sea Diva. Then you can exceed summon, go into Gigantic Sprite. And then when you detach a material, you can bring out Swap Frog's effect to dump the Ronin Totem. Then you can link these two away to bring out Sprite Elf. Then you can use Sprite Elf's effect to Monster Reborn your Swap Frog. And now Swap Frog's effect activates once again because it's not a hard once per turn. So you can see how it's able to be exploited here. And then you can use Ronin Totem's effect to banish one. And now you can exceed these two to get yourself a Totally Awesome. And then using, during your standby phase, Totally Awesome's effect to bring out your Dupe Frog. So now here we have Sprite Elf. So the main role that Sprite Elf is going to be here is that the arrows that this card points to cannot be targeted with card effects. So this is a great way to protect your Totally Awesome and your Dupe Frog. And then we have Totally Awesome, who is your Omni Negate. So of course that's very powerful, and you're able to take that card. And you can also use the Sprite Elf to bring back a level 2 monster. You can bring back the Ronin Totem if you choose to do so, which will give you something to dump for the Totally Awesome. And then the Dupe Frog makes it where your opponent cannot target other monsters for attacks except for him. So a great way to just force your opponent to target this card. But yeah, you can see this is a lot that you can do with just one card. And that was Deep Sea Diva. But now let's go to the third hand. Alright guys, before we go to the third test hand, if you guys are enjoying the video and want to support me directly, check out the Patreon in the description down below. Or if you want to buy cards and support the channel, check the description for the link to TCG Player. It helps the channel out quite a bit. But yeah, let's just get started here with the third test hand. So here with the third test hand, we're going to use Sprite Starter. So you can see we have a lot of Sprite monsters in our hand, which is going to create an interesting situation here, because usually these are going to be the ones that you're going to want to search out. Like we have the Sprite Jet, which is the usual one you're going to search out with Sprite Blue, but it's fine. And Sprite Starter is usually where you're going to search out Sprite Jet, but because we already have these in our hand, it creates a different situation for us here. So I'm going to use the Sprite Blue. So okay, I use Sprite Starter to bring Sprite Blue, then I can use Sprite Blue in order to search out the Sprite Carrot. Now I can bring out the Sprite Jet in order to search out the Sprite Smasher, since I already used the Sprite Starter here. Decided it was a perfect time. Now I can bring out Sprite Red and Sprite Carrot in order to have some Spell Trap Negate and a Monster Negate. So that's great there, so I don't have to worry about anything while I'm doing my combos over here. And then here I have Gigantic Sprite. By detaching material, I can go into my Swap Frog, and you guys kind of saw this with the other hands. You can use Swap Frog, Ronin Totem. Swap Frog to dump the Ronin Totem. Then I chose to normal summon my Sprite Red, which was an interesting move I thought to do here. But this gave me a way to just ensure that I was able to maintain these two monsters here. And since I already have Sprite Red, I thought it would be interesting just to summon it out here in order to link these two away to get my Sprite Elf. Then I can use Sprite Elf's effect to get my Swap Frog. Then use Swap Frog in order to dump another Swap Frog. Now I'm able to bring out my Ronin Totem. Exceed these two to go into Totally Awesome. Link these two away. Now that I have an Omni Negate established and I'm not worried about like them, Nibiruing me, then I can get on my IP Masquerena. And now go to the standby phase in order to use Totally Awesome's effect to bring out my Dupe Frog. And then during the main phase, just to show you guys, I can go into my Crusadia Avermax. So here, let's just kind of go over what we have. So you saw me link away with IP Masquerena. I could have, if I wanted to, I could have just saved it and gone into Unicorn to shuffle something away. I think here though, Avermax is a good play because he's an indestructible, problematic boss monster here that nobody really wants to deal with. But they're gonna have to deal with it in order to do that. And this also creates a sort of a lock for your opponent, just because Avermax makes it where your opponent's only able to target hit for attacks, but Dufrog does the same thing. So he's gonna be unable to target either of them. So it creates just an interesting interaction with these two cards here. And Totally Awesome, again, it's an Omni Negate that lets you take one of their cards and set it down. And then we have here the Splight Smashers, so we can use this as a form of removal, depending on what we want to get rid of too. You can choose to do that depending on like how the situation changes with what your opponent's playing. And then we have the Imperm here, so really good board here. And this was just from a random hand that you saw wasn't really ideal. Usually when you want to switch out all those cards, and there was only like the one hand trap, which was Infinite Permanence, and it's a good one, but usually you want your hand stacked with these, but even with that you were able to do so much with this deck. But now let's go to the fourth and final test hand. Alright guys, so this is the fourth and final test hand. So here you can see that we have 3 hand traps, but we do have Deep Sea Diva, which you saw was a 1-card combo, and that Sprite Starter going into Sprite Blue can get you some plays too. So now we're able to see what we're able to do with these 2 1-card combos. So here I'm going to normal summon my Deep Sea Diva. So I do this in order to bring out the Deep Sea Diva, as I showed before. And now, unlike last time, I'm actually going to link these two away to get the Hulk. And I'm going to use Hulk's effect to bring out my Effect Veiler. Now you might be wondering why I chose to do this, and you're going to get to see that in a bit. And now I'm going to use my Sprite Starter here in order to special summon my Sprite Blue, which lets me go into straight combo. We go for the Sprite Jet, use Sprite Jet's effect to get my Sprite Smashers. I'm not going to go for the starter since I already used it. Now I can exceed these two to go into Gigantic Sprite. Detach one material to go into my swap, and then you guys already know this, use swap to dump the Ronin Totem. Now I can use Swap Frog's effect in order to bounce the Effect Veiler back into my hand. So as you can see, this is a great way to just search out hand traps using Crystron Hauki Fibrax with Swap Frog. So now I'm gonna have two negates in my hand because of this unique interaction because of this deck. So really good. Any tuner hand trap you're basically able to add to your hand, or any really tuner monster if you wanted to, you're able to add it to your hand. So really strong interaction here. Now I link these two away in order to get my Sprite Elf. Use Sprite Elf's effect to bring back my Swap Frog. Again, not hard once per turn, so I can use this effect again. Dump the Swap Frog. Now I can banish one in order to bring out my Ronin Totem. Now I can exceed these two away to go into my Totally Awesome. And I get to set my Sprite Smashers. So here I have a Sprite Elf. So Sprite Elf makes it where the cards your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects. So of course these are going to be protected. During the standby phase, Totally Awesome is going to bring out my Dupe Frog, which prevents them from attacking any of my other monsters besides the Dupe Frog. And then the Totally Awesome is an Omni Negate that lets you set the card that it negates and destroys, and then it lets you get value back after you use it. And then here we have the Sprite Smashers as a form of non-target banish removal, very powerful. And then you can see 4 hand traps that we're able to use on our opponents. 2 monster negates, 1 way to banish 1 card in their grave, and then a generic hand trap negate that's just very powerful. So you guys can kind of see here why Sprite's going to be one of the strongest decks in the meta, because this is insane. This is just incredible value that you're able to get out of this deck. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to support me on Patreon again or buy cards on TCG Player, check the description down below. If not, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.